13th of May, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Lou. Phil's trying to get in. He seems to be having some difficulties. I'm not sure why.
I see a message that says this meeting is being transcribed for AI Companion. Did you do that?
Oh, yeah, I just pushed this button.
Okay, I'm going to click OK on that. I don't know if that's blocking anything, but
Oh, maybe yeah, okay. Maybe that's the problem. Phil, you want to try again now?
I sent the links.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. Well, Roy was not with us for the Sefer Daniel Shir. Looks like he's not going to be, at least not yet. He's not here yet. And Phil is trying to get in. Oh, okay. All right. So, there's Hashem. Okay, so what happened over here is that we Abaya said something, then he took it back. And we were reading the Rashis over here on the discussion of Abaye. Lav milsihi de Amre. So let's just see when this keep doing this. Oh no, this is not gonna. The subject is still continuing over here, all the way until the Mishnah. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree, all the way until the Mishnah. Okay. Wow, wow. Oh boy. Whoo. Okay. Well, if you want to know the truth, what I think we should do is we should go back to the try to start from the bottom of the hill, on the bottom line of Yud Zayin Amid Aleph. Ah, here comes Phil. Let's see if it works this time. So we're going to go slow, and we're going to try to figure out exactly step by step what's going on with this Masa Bezdin, Toanacha Masa Bezdin. So let's read from the bottom line of Yud Zayin Amud Aleph. Amr Pia, or Abba Amr Yochanan.
Amar Rav Chia bar Abba. Amar Rav Yochanan. Rav Chia bar Abba said in the name of Rav Yochanan, Hamtoan Achar Maaseh Beis Din. One claims he paid in absence of witnesses, an obligation imposed by the court. Hooray!
Oh, good. Phil's got on. Baruch Hashem.
Finally worked. I don't know what it was. Could be my phone was wonky. I don't know. Everything's weird, but it's on. Now your picture looks funny, but it's still there.
Whose picture looks funny?
Now you're okay.
Oh.
For a second, now it's okay.
Oh. Oh, maybe I have to clean my thing over here.
No, you look good to me.
Now it's okay. It's okay now.
Okay. Yeah.
Mike?
A couple things I'll be able to take a haircut, but anyway,
Yeah, before your trip, gotta look your best.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be away, Phil. So
When are you going?
tomorrow night. So
Okay.
2
So
weeks.
there'll be a share tomorrow, but not a share on Thursday.
There will be. So I'm envisioning that there will be a shir on Thursday for anybody who wants to come. You'll yeah.
Then, well, choose my address.
Well, I got to.
And Lou's going to host a meeting.
When, tomorrow or the day after? Which day?
Oh, tomorrow. I hope to be here tomorrow, but Thursday Lou will host a meeting.
Okay.
Bez Hashem, there should be a meeting on Thursday on Lag Bomer.
Okay, well, send me whatever the link is again, because I'm never going to remember. I got to find it among all of the things, especially with the password. You have a password to get in your thing, Lou. That's what I got to remember to find. I'll find it somewhere. Okay. Okay, because I'm right. As I say, I'm starting Sunday. I'm going away for a week, so a week at a time like that, you know.
Oh boy. Okay.
No, it's local. It's in Israel. It's not. I'm not far. It's a bus trip in Israel.
Oh, I see.
Plus followed by a Shabbaton in Israel. So I'm not leaving Israel. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So you'll be able to. Well, you'll be busy with the schedule of the
of the tour. I won't be able to catch in the middle of a tour. Is what? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Enjoy.
Thanks. You enjoy.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm on myself.
That's what I'm gonna do. What's that?
I get Rabbi Golan all to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looks yeah. Okay, good.
All right, so what does she collect everything mean? What does it mean when it says she collects everything?
What does it mean she collects everything? Where does it say she's going to collect everything?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
All it says is that the Hatoen Achar Masa Bezdin, the one who's making a claim that he Rashi says over here. Maybe we should read the Rashi. Hatoen Achar Masa Bezdin. By the way, Phil, we're going to try to start from what do you call it? From square one with this Gemora today.
Well, you started with Rabbi Chiva Rabbah. That's where you started, I saw.
Yeah.
But now I'm trying to find where that Rashi is.
Oh, it's the last line in Yud Zayin Amud Aleph, and it's the last Rashi.
The last Rashi. Hatoen Achar Masidin. Someone makes a claim after there's an act of the court. Devar Shahu Tanai Beis Din, the thing that's a condition of Beis Din. Going, for example, Ketuva, Umazon Ha'isha, Babanod, and supplying sustenance for a wife and the children. A Toain, and someone who claims, Ba'ama Parati, I paid already. Shelo be'edim, without, when I didn't have witnesses. Lo ma klum. That's meaningless, that claim that he paid and he didn't have witnesses. He should have witnesses to pay to get off the hook.
Oh, interesting. I have another version of the Rashi. It says that his claim is, the husband's claim is, I paid and I had edim that I paid. In other words, I paid in the presence of edim.
This Rashi that I'm reading definitely says shelo be'edim.
Yeah, but I have a little note there by the word shelo, and
there's no note here by this in ours.
Yeah, you could. I mean, that's, I got a fancy Gemora, so they give you all the different texts of all the different possible texts that there are circulating around. So anyway, but it all amounts to the same thing, basically. You could say it basically amounts to the fact that the husband is claiming that he paid, but nobody else is backing him up. So, in other words, even if he goes so far to say that I paid and it was in front of edim, we don't accept his say so. In other words, what he has to do is he has to bring the witnesses, the live witnesses, to the Bezdin, and they will testify on his behalf that he paid. And anything less than that won't do. Lo mar klum. So he has said nothing. So, okay. So, yeah. Okay. So that's step one. Step two, the Gemora asks, we go over to Ahmed Base, and a round of applause for Ahmed Aleph. Hooray! And now we go to the top line of Ahmed Base. My timer. What is the reason for this, that this man is not believed?
Let's see. I have Lo mar klum. He has said nothing. My timer. What is the reason? Kol maaseh beis din. Anything that is an act of the court, kaman de nakit shtara biyada dami. It is like one who holds in his hand a document.
Yeah.
That's the reason he's not believed?
Right. So in other words, every matter which is regarded as a masa bezdin, which Rashi told us before was the payment of the obligation of paying the ksuba, the obligation of paying mazonas to the wife and to the daughters. So those obligations have the status of a masa bezdin, which means that even if the woman doesn't have a ksuba in her hand, we regard it in halacha as though she's holding the ksuba, meaning she is entitled to the ksuba. We assume that she's entitled to the ksuba. So Rashi's going to elaborate on this. We didn't get to Rashi yet. So at this point, in other words, that's why the husband's not believed to say that he paid it, because someone who's holding a ksuba, what is a ksuba? A ksuba is a written and signed document that says that that the husband owes when the marriage is terminated. And so now if the husband has to bring proof that he's fulfilled those obligations that it's stated in the ksuba. So it's not good enough for him to just claim that he did so. He's got to prove it. So if all he says is, you got to believe me that I paid, and there was even witnesses that witnessed that I paid, we say, sorry, but you got to bring a proof that you paid.
What if he says, I paid and she gave me the ketsuba and I tore it up? And that's why she doesn't have it.
He has to, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Because that's all his claim. He's got to have a proof that he's paid the ksuba. His claim that he paid it and his claim that he tore it up and everything is simply a claim. But we need a proof, because the point is she has a proof. She has a proof that she's entitled to these things. That's how it works with the Masa Bezdin. Even if she doesn't have the actual ksuba in her hand, what we're saying is in halacha, we regard it as though she's holding a ksuba in her hand. And the ramifications of that is that, in other words, she's holding proof that she's entitled to this, to these obligations. And so now the only thing the Baal can do is to prove that he fulfilled those obligations. Okay.
Amar Lei, Rebbe Metzia, Bar Abba, the Rebbe Yochanan. Rebbe Metzia Bar Abba told Rebbe Yochanan, Lo Mishnasenu He Zu. This is not. Is this not already what we learned in our Mishnah? Hotzia get. If the woman produces a get, ve'ein imo kasuva, but is not accompanied by a kasuva, gova kasuva sa. She may nevertheless collect her kasuva.
Right. So Reb Chia here is saying, why did Rabbi Yochanan need to tell us this? What he told us, it's already what he's telling us is already basically written in a Mishnah. So Rabbi Yochanan doesn't need to say something. He doesn't need to teach us something which we could already, in any case, have learned from a Mishnah. And what is it that we're learning from the Mishnah? We're learning from the Mishnah that all the woman had in her hand was a get. So all that does is a proof that the marriage is terminated. But what about the obligation of the ksuba? She doesn't have a ksuba in her hand. So if she doesn't have a ksuba in her hand, she doesn't have any proof that she's entitled to to be paid what the ksuba provides for her. If she doesn't have the ksuba in her hand, so the Mishnah says even if she does not have the ksuba in her hand, she's going to collect all the obligations that are stated in the ksuva. That are part of the Tanai ksuva that Chazal instituted to provide for a wife and the daughters at the end of a marriage. Okay. So he's tining that Rabbi Yochanan is saying no more than what it says in the Mishnah. So what did he have to open up his mouth for, so to speak? What he said is already said in the Mishnah. Okay.
All right. He said to him, that is, Rav Yochanan said to Rav Chia, Ilav didalai lach kaspa. If I did not lift up for you a shard, lo mashkachas mar ganisa tusa, you would not have discovered the pearl underneath it. So in other words, if I hadn't taught my ruling, you would not have induced the generality of that Mishnah.
Right, all the Mishnah, yeah. In other words, the Mishnah is talking about a ksuba. And Rabbi Yochanan is talking about Masa Bezdin. So we're presuming that Rabbi Yochanan, when he says Masa Bezdin, he's referring to more obligations than simply the obligations that are stated in a ksuba. So he's saying the same thing applies to any Masa Bezdin, not just to a ksuba. Tosus has a funny question. Ilav de dole la chaspa. Tosus asks, "V'chi derech limso margolios takas charse." He doesn't understand what Rabbi Yochanan is saying. Rabbi Yochanan, when was the last time you found a pearl underneath a broken shard of pottery on the ground that you lifted up? Okay, so
that's a kasha namaisa.
I mean, he's asking a serious question. He's got a serious answer also. Before Rabbeinu Tam, the Bekarkois Hayam Avanim Rachavot Veniros Kecharasim V'taktehen Nimseim Hamargolis. Yes, in fact, it is so, exactly the way Rabbi Yochanan says. There is such a thing. If you go to the Karkait Hayam, what is that? The ocean floor. You'll find avanim rachavot. You'll find wide stones, rock, and veniros kacharasim. They'll look to you like pottery, earthenware type of a thing. V'takteyan, and if you lift them up, you'll find underneath them margolios. You'll find pearls. Okay, so that's what Rabbi Yochanan was referring to. Anyway, let's go further.
Okay, let's see. Amar Abaye, my Marganisa. Abaye said, what type of pearl? Dilma, Makom, She'ein Kosvin, Kasuva, Askinan. Perhaps in the Mishnah, we discuss a locale where the custom is that they do not write a kasuva. To get hayinu kasuva sa. There a get is in place of her kasuva. Aval b'makom shekosvin kasuba, but in a place where they write a kasuva, e nikita kasuba gavya. If she is holding a kasuba, she may collect. Ilolo gavya. If not, she may not collect.
Okay, so Abaya is asking a question on Rabbi Yochanan. What's his question? He says, Dilma, maybe in a locale where they ain kosvin ksuva askinen, Dilma b'makom she'ein kosvin ksuva askinen. Maybe we're dealing with a locale that they don't write a ksuva. Now, when he says that askinen that we're dealing with, he's referring to the reasoning of the Mishnah, I suppose. The Mishnah that we quoted about the woman that just produces a get. She doesn't have a ksuva.
Yes, the English says in the Mishnah.
So maybe the Mishnah is only talking about a case where there's no ksuva that's written in that locale. And so in that locale, get hainu ksuva. The get is, when she's holding a get, that's tantamount to holding a ksuva as well. And so, therefore, she doesn't need to have a ksuva. She'll collect her ksuva simply because she's got a get, because in that makom, they don't write a ksuva. So it's not a taina on her, she doesn't have a ksuva. Okay. But in a place where the established custom is write a ksuva. So now, if they write a ksuva in that place, so now she's got to have a ksuva. We're not going to rely on the fact that the ksuva is a masa bezdin. Only if she's holding a ksuva in her hand. Then she'll collect the ksuva. But if she's not holding a ksuva in her hand in that locale, she won't collect the ksuva. And you, Rabbi Yochanan, said that every Masa Bezdin, and Rashi included the Ksuva as being a Masa Bezdin, is as though we look at it as though she's holding the Ksuva in her hand, even though she doesn't actually have a Ksuva. So if so, what's the where does that bring us over here? What is the point over here? Maybe Rashi will. Let's take a look at Rashi. This is the key over here. We have to understand what was it that Abaya was asking Rabbi Yochanan. Phil, would you like to read the Rashis on the top of the page? Rashi dibur maska b'makom she'ein kosvin ksuva.
Okay, b'makom she'ein kosvin ketuba, the places where we don't write a ketuba. El somchim al tanai beis din. In those places, we rely on the ruling of the conditions of beis din. The tigbe the alam, and you do collect it. You always collect it ad sheyatz abal until the Baal produces a shover, like a receipt, the get. And then
receipt of payment of the ksuba.
Yeah, well, that's a shover get, I guess, a shover. Okay, the get, because the get, the ma'id shegisra, because you have a testifying that she was divorced, garash, that he did divorce her, who mochiach, that proves to him because that proves to him once there's a proof of that there's a get, that proves that he divorced her, and that meant that there was a ketubah there that he has to pay. So the shover on a get, once that get proof does it, that's good enough. That you don't have to have the actual ketubah, because once you have they wouldn't let there be a girush without there being something along the way that Beis Din is doing it upon.
Okay, so we're saying that Abaya is saying that only in a place where they don't write a get. The custom is that they don't write it. I'm sorry. The custom is that they do not write a ksuva. You always have to write a get. You have to write a get. You have to give the get. But the ksuva, there's such a thing as a place where they don't write it. They don't write a ksuva. What do? Rashi says they're somech on Tanai Bezdin, meaning to say that will be a case that will work out the way that Rabbi Yochanan was talking about. That we regard it as though she's holding the ksuva in her hand, even if she doesn't actually have one. And so in that case, the only way that the Baal is going to be able to get out of pain is if he produces a shover, which is a proof of payment. Anything less than that won't do. Okay, but that Abaya is suggesting is only in a case, only in a place where they don't write a ksuva. But what about a place where they do write a ksuva? Then we say if she's holding the ksuva in her hand, So then she'll collect. But if she's not holding a ksuba in her hand, she won't collect. She won't collect. And so that doesn't seem to accord with what Rabbi Yochanan was saying. He said a ksuba is a masa bezdin, and as such, we say that it's though she's holding it in her hand. But what Abaye seems to be saying is that based upon what it says in the Mishnah, maybe the Mishnah is only talking about a case where they don't write a ksuba, and therefore they're somech on the Tanai Bezdin. But otherwise, she needs to have a ksuba. So what is that? Where does that leave us? That the Mishnah is really not a proof at all. That a Masa Bezdin is we regard it as though the person has a star in their hand. Not so at all. No proof from that Mishnah. Okay. And with that, we got to go.
Okay, take care.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Ezrat Hashem.
Bye.
Have a great day.
You too.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lou. We'll see you tomorrow.